Hey there folks, in this video we are going to do what you came here for, and that is starting to put in light plots or lighting units and create our light plot. So let's take care of a couple things here. Let's make this, let's see if we can make this video go away. So it is there. We're going to make sure that we have our lighting is the current layer, and we should be all set. Let's see what happens here. Okay. So we are in the lighting layer and we are all set to go. So the first thing I'm going to do is it helps me. And again, the really important thing is I need to make this clear in the earlier videos is this is how I do lighting, and this is kind of how I teach it. So if you are seeing this video, and always defer to your teacher. Okay, this is just, there's many ways to do it, and this is just the way that I learned, and it's the way that I do it. So what I'm doing is I'm making a little helper thing, and it is a line connected, two lines. One of them is 45 degree and one of them is straight vertical. I'm going to select them and turn them into a group, and this is how I'm going to help rough in my 45s for Mr. McCandless's method of lighting the stage. So I have this. So when I do lighting, I think in terms of systems. Okay, so the first system that I'm going to do, I'm going to choose to have the warm lights coming from this side of the stage. So I'm going to work on my warm front light system first. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come and grab my thing here, and I'm going to snap it onto the center point of area A. Okay, so if everything was in a perfect world, my light would be out here somewhere. But as you can see, the lighting, the front of house pipe doesn't go that far. So, and this happens all the time. So we are going to have to put my first light right on the end of the pipe. Okay, it's just, you have to work within the space that you are given. Okay, so granted there is a space up here, but that would be really steep. So I like, in fact, I'm probably going to be going out to this third front of house. So I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. So now we need to start making some decisions and playing around and experimenting a little bit. So we need to figure out what size of light, what type of light we want to use to make this, to make our light plot. My university where I work, we have ETC source 4s mainly. We have some, we have a pretty good stock of LED source 4s and just standard incandescent. For the purpose of this exercise, we will be using incandescent source 4s. So I'm going to click on here the lighting device tool, and I'm coming up here to select a lighting symbol. Now I have in this demo file, I have all the lighting symbols that I need. I hope here. Yeah, here we go. Our source 4s. So what I'm going to do is I have to guess. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to guess really wrong. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select, I think I want to use a 50 degree source 4. And a 50 degree means it's going to create a cone of light that's 50 degrees across. So I'm going to select it or click on it and then select it, and then it gives me where I can put it. So I really want to put it out here, but I have to put it right on the end of the pipe. So I'm going to click once, and then I kind of rough focus it towards the focus point and click again, and it puts in our fixture. Now it as you can see, it added some other information here. We'll get to that later, probably in another video. So we have our first fixture. Now we want to check a couple things. We want to make sure that it snaps onto this electric. It should. So if we select the light, come over here, and sure enough, it is on front of house 3, and it has a Z height of 21 feet. So that means it automatically snapped on. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to see how this light is going to work with everything else. So we're going to come down here just a little bit, and I'm going to click on, I'm going to type in A for focus. And then I'm going to come down just a little bit, and there should be something like draw beam. So let's come on, nope, come on. Draw beam, where are we here? Maybe I'm a little bit, okay, let's come back up. Draw beam, here we go, it's right there. Ugh. So draw beam, and wow, that is a big beam of light. So you can see it's really big. It's covering a lot of space, too big. But if we look at it in 3D, it shows us the beam of light, what it looks. And as you can see, the beam of light is at 5 feet. It's at where the person's face is. So that's kind of where this is a great thing about Vectorworks, is giving us this tool. It's an amazing tool. It gets you really close. That's what I found. So I'm going to come back to top plan. I'm going to save my plot. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is, I think that's a little too big. So I'm going to select it, and I can come over here and I can click on replace lighting device. Now I'm going to go the other direction, and I'm going to say let's try a 19 degree. So I'm going to select it and then come down here, select, and you may think it's like, oh, okay, that's really nice, and it looks like it would probably overlap a little bit, but I don't think it's going to overlap enough. So we're getting close. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try a 26 degree. Okay, and I think that might be a good light. We're going to have to see. So we're going to leave that right there for now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my little angle-y guy down. Okay. And now it looks like that light is going to sit right on the end of the pipe. Well, we can't do that because it would be sitting on top of each other. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide this light over. I'm going to try and make it, this is probably 2 feet. You don't want to have any less than 18 inches, because then it just doesn't give your lights enough room to focus. So I think that is, here, let's just take a quick, I'm going to draw a line between them. Yeah, that's 26 inches. So that's a good amount of space. So now I moved it, but it's still pointing at A. So what I have to do is come back, change this to B, and I'm digging that. It's overlapping very nicely. I'm liking these 26 degrees. So now we're just going to kind of keep on trucking here, and we're going to move this, and now we're finally getting into the real 45 degrees. So I'm going to change that to C. Okay. I'm going to move this guy down here to D. I'm going to get rid of this line right here. And now we're going to A, B, C, D. Okay, and now we're going to do E. And now we're going to move him over to there. And so now we're gonna make sure, let's make sure we get our lighting focus points edited correctly. All right, and now I am digging this. I'm liking this. This is going to get me pretty close when I get into the space. I know it's going to be covered. Going to have to do some shuttering, but I feel good about that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this little line here, get it out of the way. So we're going to use them again. So now we have our warm system. Now what I'm going to do, just so I can keep it squared away, is I'm going to select all the lights. And what I'm going to do is, I don't know what color I'm going to use quite yet, but what I want to do is I'm going to call these, I'm just going to call them warm for now. I'm going to come up into the object info palette and type in warm, and now these lights are assigned. They will eventually be some warm color. Now you notice they're not sticking. There's no text down here. Now I'm going to have a video on how to do this is called Label Legends, and I'm going to have a separate video on Label Legends, but I want to make sure that we can see the data. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up and we're going to select all the fixtures again, okay, and we're going to come over to the object info palette and we're going to use legend. I'm going to select that, and I have a bunch of label legends here that I've created, and for our fixtures at Northwest, and the one that I'm going to use, that I use for incandescents, is Northwest Legend General. So I'm going to select that. It's probably going to fill in a bunch of data, so it gives us our channels and our dimmer, but it also puts in the focus points, okay, and the colors that we're going to use. So, all right. Now it's going to get a little messy, but this is where Vectorworks pays for itself. So now we have these and it's symmetrical. So what we're going to do is we're just going to flip these lights over to the other side of the stage, and we're going to do a little bit of reconfiguring. So we have them selected. We're going to use the mirror tool. Oh, let's save. That is awesome. We're going to save. And again, through the magic of Vectorworks, we have our lights, and now it's like, holy mackerel, there's a lot of beams going on there. And if you notice, E is still pointed over to E. This light needs to be right here. This light needs to be A. So everything needs to be flip-flopped around. So I'm going to deselect things. I'm going to select that, and we're going to make that focus point A. And you're going to see how the beams change. B. C stays where it is. D. And E. And then what we're going to do is we're going to select these 5 lights, and we're going to call them, we're going to give them cool colors. Come on up here. Cool. Enter. And now they have cool. So now it looks like, yeah, everything is mixing really nicely. So I'm going to select these and we're going to turn those beams off. Okay. And we're going to come over here, we're going to draw a beam, turn it off. And now we have our fixtures. So the next lights I'm going to put in are going to be we're going to do this platform here, okay? And remember, F is going to light the whole platform. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to cheat, and I'm going to drag one of my fixtures to front of house 2, and let's see if it snaps on to front of house 2. It does, and it gives it the front of house 2 height, Z height. So I'm going to come back here and we're going to put our thing there, and yeah, on the platform there we can get our 45 degree in. So I'm going to slide this person over here, and I'm going to change the focus point to F, and we're going to quick draw a beam and see what happens. Okay, so this is a 26 degree. I think that's a little small. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back, replace lighting instrument. Let's try a 36 degree. Double click. I am liking that. A 36 degree, it looks like it covers everything. I like that. So folks, the thing you have to remember is when you get in, if you're doing this for a class project, you're never going to know how it really works out. But there's many times I will do this, and it's like, I think I got it. It's like, oh, that's the fixture. And then I get into the space, and it's like, no, I need it a little bigger or a little smaller. This is just a tool to get you close. So again, we have warm over here. So now what we're going to do is I'm just going to kind of flip it around, and we are going to, come on, and we are going to call that one cool. All right, we're going to turn those beams off, and the last ones we're going to do here are we're going to do our chairs, and we're going to do a warm and a cool for each one. So we're going to draw a beam off. I'm going to move my helper, and it looks like we're going to have a line right, we're going to have a light right on the end. So I'm just going to slide that 36 degree over. And do you think this light's going to be too big or too small? It's probably going to be too big because we just want to focus down on each light. So I think I'm going to change the focus point to G. Right. And let's draw a beam. Way too big. Okay. I'm going to go back to that 19 that we first picked. So let's go back 19. Let's go back to 19, and I'm liking that. They're not moving, they're sitting the entire time. When they walk on stage, we'll pick them up with the platform, and when they sit down, we'll transition to their individual lights so we can control the intensity for each actor as they're reading their lights. So yeah, I'm digging this 19 degree. So again, we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to kind of flop it around. All right. And we're going to call this one cool. Now we're going to get rid of these beams. Go away. And now we are going to do our H, and we're just going to be able to slide. We're going to be able to just kind of pull a light down. So here we're going to use our 19. I'm going to slide and duplicate, and I'm going to change that to area H. I'm not going to even turn on the draw beam because I know it's going to work. And then we're just going to flip H around. I mean, I could do this, and I'm going to save a step. It's all about time saving, folks. I'm going to drag it down to kind of where the other one was, and we're going to call this one H cool. All right. So I'm going to just going to drag this guy off of there. We're going to come back. So there you have it. These are our front lights. These are the lights that are going to do the heavy lifting. These are the lights that are going to allow us to see the stage and to see the actors. And I think we have a good light plot going. Everything is going to be covered really nice. And in the next video, we're going to put in top light or backlight. See you then.